Hello and welcome back to the G5 Family channel. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for clicking into this video. I hope you find it helpful, informative, and maybe even a little entertaining, as I like to say. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Philippines 13A permanent resident visa. Now, don't worry, I have already created several videos on this topic, so I'm not going to rehash any of that other than to hit I've received easily 100+ questions on both YouTube, email, and different social media. So it makes a lot of sense to me to come back and create a video that answers a lot of those frequently asked questions, okay? So easily, the main question I get is, what is the cost, okay? And yes, I can give you the fee amount, and I will, but I want to add a little bit of definition because there's some things to take into consideration. You know, travel. For me, my situation, I had to drive a couple of hours. I had to get on a boat and take a ferry across to the next island, and then, then finish the trip to the actual Bureau of Immigration office. So I had, a little bit of money in traveling to get there. And by the way, I could do it there and back in one day, but it was a long day. But anyway, so whatever your travel cost, if your Bureau of Immigration office is in the same city, then golden, you've got it made. But if you do have to travel, just keep that in mind. But the actual fee, I just checked, and it's still the same 8,620 pesos. Now that calculates to about $165 US. But what I need to tell you, and I'm encouraging everyone that raises these questions, that if you are still in the U.S., it's a good idea to take advantage of the opportunity to get this done in the U.S. And here's the reason why, or there's several reasons, but the main reason is it's easy. You can do it through the mail, and you only have to do it once. Here in the Philippines, you have the first round, you get your probationary for 1 year. And then you have to circle back and go through the second round, the second year, which is then permanent. So if you get it done in the U.S., then it's one and done. There's no travel. That's by far the easiest, quickest, and cheapest way to get it done. But if you're already here in the Philippines, then it is what it is. Okay? So yeah, the fee is 8,620 pesos or $165. And then simultaneously, you'll be putting in an application for your ACR card, ACRI card, which is an additional $50 or 2,500 pesos. So I just tell everybody to plan on about $200 to $300 to cover the cost of any travel and the fees. So long answer to a short question, about $200 to $300. Now the second question is, what is the expiration? Now, I've been hit up with this question coming from different angles. Some people are asking, what is the expiration if you are living outside of the Philippines? What is the expiration if you're living in the Philippines? So I can tell you with full confidence that the visa does not expire. It's a permanent visa. The only thing expires is your ACR card. So again, you go through the first year probationary, you get a probationary 1-year card. And then year 2, you go through the round again, and then you get the new card, which is a 5-year card. So from what I understand, if you're living outside of the Philippines for whatever reason, the visa still stands. I have not heard of any situation where the visa was denied. Now, another question I received recently was, if the Filipino spouse was to pass away, would the visa be canceled? Now, I don't have a clear answer on that, and I couldn't find anything on their website that stated anything specific to that. I'm going to talk to the BI officer the next time I go in for my annual check-in, because that is a good question. I mean, even for myself, that's something I need to know. Okay, so I'll check on that, and at some point down the road, I'll pin an answer to that question to the comments on my other videos. And then the third question that I'm going to hit on is, okay, during your 1-year probation, Do you have to remain in the Philippines the entire year? Okay. Now, this answer comes with some conditionals. And by the way, I would appeal to you guys. If you have any knowledge to this or any personal experience, please let me know. So from what I have gathered, my understanding is that the visa stands. As long as it's current within the date ranges on the stamp, it's a standing visa. If you exit the Philippines and return and the visa's current, you should not have any problems. That is my understanding. Now, a great way to find out is, and I highly recommend doing this before you book any flights, but if you've been in the Philippines longer than 6 months, you will need to get an exit visa. So you will actually have to physically go to the BI office and get an exit visa. And at which point, if you're on your 1-year probationary, you just simply say, hey, I'm on my 1-year probationary visa. Am I allowed to exit the Philippines and return? And you'll get your answer for sure. They'll tell you. They, may or may not issue a exit visa just based on that criteria. But I want to circle back. It is my understanding that you can travel internationally on your probationary visa. So I'll just leave it at that. Again, you guys, you won't offend me if you come back and say, hey, wait a minute, just please do. Okay? All right, so number 4, can I apply for the 13A visa from the Bureau of Immigration here in the U.S.? Well, I've already answered that question. I highly recommend that you do if you can. Ideally, your Filipino wife is in the U.S. with you, and you go through the process. I have heard that they have done away with the in-person interviews, but just in case they do require that, it's good if she's there. But in any case, yes, you can absolutely apply for your 13A visa in the U.S. and get that done. So number 5, do they ask for your financial information? I have gotten this question dozens of times. Do they ask for your financial information? If so, what account balance is sufficient? Now, I'm just going to give you my answer based on my personal experience. When we went in for the interview, we went in, we submitted all of the paperwork, and then we were scheduled to come back for an interview. Then they asked me some questions about my financials. And now this has been a couple of years ago, so I kind of don't remember specifics. All I do remember is I did get asked about my finances. They didn't ask for bank accounts. They didn't ask for deposits. They didn't ask for any of that kind of detail. In fact, I only have a U.S. bank account, and they didn't ask for bank statements or anything. Now, this goes back 2 years ago, and I don't see any changes in the instructions or the requirements. So I always want to answer these questions with, a little bit of a, take this with a grain of salt, because you're going to get different answers from different agents, from different offices. So really, my advice is guidance more than it is absolute. So, everybody's experience is different. Everybody experiences different things when they go through their own process. So to answer the question, don't worry about that too much. If you feel comfortable enough in your financial situation to move to the Philippines, to live in the Philippines full time, then you just answer the questions truthfully, honestly. I don't remember the questions being overly intrusive or overly detailed. In fact, I would remember if it had been. So that's more or less the answer to that question. Okay, so hopefully you stuck around. I have a little bit of an announcement. Now, as much as I'm a do-it-yourselfer type of guy, and I did all of mine myself, I did not hire any agencies. In looking back in the rearview mirror, I would have considered using an agency. And the reason why was because of all of the travel. Now, you hire an agency to do it for you. They do all of the running back and forth. You still have to do your diligence. You still have to provide all of the paperwork and all of the requirements, but they do all of the running for you. and it's, everything is included in whatever their fee is. I've heard that it's about 10,000 pesos, which is about $200. And truthfully, after going through the process, round 1 for the probationary, round 2 for the permanent, I think that I would have done it. I think I would have paid an agency to do it. So you'll notice at the bottom of your screen a company called Filipino Visa. Now, this company is owned and operated by a Phil M couple. He's an American, she's a Filipino, and they have been in business since 2009. So they've been in business about 13 years, and they do all of the visa services. So if you're just starting out and you're wanting to bring your girlfriend to the US to get married, they do the K1 fiance visas. Basically, they do any type of visa, whether it's bringing a Filipino to the US or vice versa, taking an American to the Philippines. So they're a great company and really good people, and people that you can trust. And the company being owned by an American and a Filipino, they're going to be in your corner, and they're going to be supportive. In fact, I've seen testimonials where agents from their company meets you at the airport and just literally handholds you through all of the various processes. So like I said, really, really good people. So at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a banner with their logo and a kind request to click my link in the description to sign up. I am an affiliate, and so I would greatly appreciate if you click my link. And it's free. You can just do a consultation and tell them what you want to do, and they'll give you the price, and then you can make your decision. There's no obligations by clicking the link. So anyway, with that, I'm going to wrap up this one. I hope all of this information is helpful. As always, please do not hesitate to, put your questions in the comments. If you have any topic requests, if you have any questions about marrying a Filipina, moving to the Philippines, any of those processes, I'm getting ready to do a video on how I shipped all of my belongings from the U.S. to the Philippines. I shipped 55 boxes of stuff. Please hit that like button. It helps me way more than you realize. And with that, have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.